Because as a U.S. national, I have rights protected by the U.S. Constitution and the Supreme
Okay.
Court. I travel not for business and commerce.
Same thing. Same thing.
If the Mr. Williams in front of us does not admit that the ticket is in his name, is made out to him, I'd ask that the Mr. Williams on the ticket be given a warrant and that this gentleman be removed so we can continue with court.
I'm trying to resolve them, but I'm being threatened.
All right, guys. Today we got one of the most clueless sovereign citizens I've ever seen. This guy somehow racked up a ridiculous 17 tickets from a single traffic stop and is still out here acting like he's not even the one in court. I mean, seriously, how do you even manage that? Instead of taking any accountability, he's pulling the classic sovereign citizen routine, spewing nonsense about jurisdiction and refusing to acknowledge the court's authority. But trust me, the judge isn't having any of it. And by the end, he completely shuts this guy down in the most satisfying way possible. You do not want to miss it. In the meantime, drop a comment and let me know what you think this clown's IQ is on a scale of 1 to 10, because after watching this, I'm giving him a solid 2. Alright, let's dive in and see exactly what charges he got hit with.
Count 1, drove while license suspended. Count 2, open alcohol in a motor vehicle. Count 3, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 1, open intoxicants in a vehicle driver. Count 2, furnish false forged info to police officer. Driver's license never acquired. Count 1. Count 2, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 3, drive unregistered untitled vehicle. Count 1, open alcohol in a motor vehicle driver. Count 2, tinted windows. Count 3, operator or front seat passenger failed to wear a safety belt. Count 1, drive unregistered untitled vehicle. Count 2 of that same ticket is drove while unlicensed.
17 different citations. This dude is out here collecting them like Pokemon cards. And at this point, he might just be the final boss of sovereign citizens. I genuinely don't even think he can count to 17, yet somehow, he's managed to rack up that many violations like it's some kind of high score challenge. The way he's acting, you'd think he was playing a game instead of facing real consequences. And of course, he's got the classic sovereign citizen attitude, pretending laws don't apply to him, arguing with the court, and making zero sense the entire time. But trust me, the judge is about to serve up a reality check, and it is absolutely priceless. So, let's not waste any more time. Let's dive in and see what this guy has to say for himself.
Aaron Rock on behalf of Mr. Timothy Williams. Mr. Williams, state your name.
I object to the counsel.
What was that?
I object to counsel.
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Williams. He's saying it's not him, and he's all rights reserved. His name is all in all capital.
I object to representation.
What was that, sir?
I object to representation by you.
Okay. So you would like to represent yourself, Mr. Williams?
I'm not representing myself. I'm just here on citizen appearance, trying to clear this matter.
Okay, so you have to be the person in order to clear these matters. You just can't appear on behalf of someone unless you're an attorney. Are you an attorney, Mr. Williams?
I'm not the person, but I'm the live living Williams, not the Timothy Williams.
Are you Timothy Tally Williams? Do you know Timothy Tally Williams?
I am Timothy Williams, the
Okay.
living, breathing Timothy Williams, not the all cat that stays on my ticket.
Okay. All right, so do you want to try and resolve these today or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you need an offer, is that what I'm hearing you say? Because we can try and resolve all these tickets today if you want to.
Well, I'm just, because as a U.S. national, I have rights protected by the U.S. Constitution and the Supreme Court.
Oh yeah, because the US Constitution totally gives you the right to commit crimes and then pretend you don't exist in court just because your name is in all caps. Makes perfect sense, right? Somebody, please explain this logic to me. If any of you actually understand what this guy is talking about, drop a comment because I'm seriously lost. These sovereign citizens really think they can just waltz into court, spew some nonsense, and magically walk away without consequences. But guess what? That's just not how it works. Courts have shut this down a million times. Just look at United States versus Howell or United States versus Cooper. It's honestly ridiculous at this point. These people claim to be US nationals or sovereign citizens, but at the end of the day, it's all the same excuse to dodge responsibility for their actions. Honestly, they need to be sent to some deserted island where they can argue with coconuts instead of wasting the court's time. But what do you guys think? Does this dude actually believe what he's saying? Or is he just playing dumb to get out of his tickets? Let's dive back in.
So if you travel, drive, ride, anything on the city streets of Detroit, then you have to follow the rules that the city of Detroit has imposed. And so if you have not followed these rules, then you receive something called tickets. And these tickets are given to you based on the license or prior license or identification ID that is given to you. So we can either resolve these today or we don't have to resolve them. It's okay. But I would like to try and resolve these so that you can move forward and do whatever you need to do.
Yes, I would like to resolve them, but as the officer is seeing in his computer that by the Secretary of State, my ID has been rescinded, canceled. I have a passport, and I'm traveling. I don't drive. I just drive here.
Hold on, but if you drive in a vehicle, you need to have a driver's license. Your passport does not enable you the ability to be able to drive on the streets of Michigan.
I travel not for business and commerce. I just
Same thing. They have to have licenses as well. Have you ever heard of a truck driver without a license that drives on the commutes on the freeways, roads, or byways? It does not happen. You have to have a license to drive on the city of Detroit, state of Michigan, all 50 states are under my assumption and ability. So Mr. Williams, I can't go back and forth. I have a lot of people on my screen. I know you can't see. We can have this discussion, but it just has to be near the end of the docket if we don't want to resolve it right now. Okay?
But for the record, Your Honor, I don't drive.
Go ahead.
For the record,
Okay.
I do not drive.
Okay,
Your Honor.
so how do you want to resolve it today? If you don't want to resolve it, I have to move to the next person, Mr. Williams.
I would like to resolve this matter.
Okay, all right. So would you like me to get you a? Yes, Attorney Snyder, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Alexa Schneider for the people, P80322. If the Mr. Williams in front of us does not admit that the ticket is in his name, is made out to him, I'd ask that the Mr. Williams on the ticket be given a warrant and that this gentleman be removed so we can continue with court.
Boom. Now that's what I like to see. This prosecutor seriously needs to take over for a minute and handle this clown because he's turning the entire court into a joke. She absolutely hit him with a MIC drop moment here. If this sovereign citizen wants to claim he's not the one on the ticket, then fine, let's just file a warrant for the guy whose name is on it. I love when judges aren't having any of these sovereign citizen antics, but I'm really hoping the judge actually takes her advice. At this rate, the docket is going to be completely backed up by the time this guy is done wasting everyone's time. But what do you guys think? Did she go too far? Or was this exactly what needed to happen? Let me know, and let's keep going.
To Mr. Williams on these tickets.
Excuse me?
I said, is it you, Mr. Williams, on these tickets? Because that's
So-
fair. That means that I'm talking to someone who doesn't have these tickets in my courtroom, and so that person has not appeared. But I'm assuming that it's you. Are these your tickets, sir?
If you assume, yes.
Okay.
I stand.
So do you want to, Mr. Williams, do you want to resolve these or not? We can't keep going back and forth. You want to take care of these today with some type of plea or no? That's
I'm trying to resolve them, but I'm being threatened by president if I don't agree to these tickets.
So who's gonna send you to prison? I'm not sending anybody to prison today. I'm fining people. That's all I'm doing. I'm giving them fines, monetary fines.
The prosecutor just said she issued a warrant. She recommended a warrant be issued.
Right, but she's not gonna get arrested, but she's saying if you're not gonna say that you're the person on these tickets. Mr. Williams, I have 20 people. I can't argue with you at the beginning of the docket. I can argue with you at the end of the docket. So I'm gonna skip over this matter so we can continue. Let me get everybody else out, then I'm gonna give you all the time in the world and we're gonna figure out what to do with you today, okay? I don't mind taking the time, but I got all these other people on here who are looking like, come on now, okay? So just give me a moment.
So now this idiot has to sit around and wait another 3 hours just to be heard again. What a way to spend your day, right? But trust me, this next part is pure gold. The judge literally talks to this guy like he's a 5-year-old, breaking it down step by step like she's teaching him how to tie his shoes. It's honestly like watching a kid get told no by their mom, but this dude is acting like he's in the middle of some huge legal battle. It's beyond ridiculous. Alright, let's dive in and watch the rest of this sovereign citizen meltdown.
We called on the matter of the people versus Timothy Talley Williams. These matters were called on the record previously. I took a moment off. We had quite a busy docket this morning, and I want to make sure that we could give Mr. Williams adequate amount of time to be able to have all of his questions answered about the matters that are before this court today. Appearances for the record, starting with the city attorney, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alexa Schneider for the people, P80322.
All right. He continues to not want counsel. Is that correct, Mr. Williams?
Correct.
Okay. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Timothy
Last name?
Williams.
Okay, sir. Now you've had the opportunity to sit and look and see how everything pans out and how everything works, Mr. Williams, right? Did you want to be presented with an offer today, or how do you want to move forward?
Well, the offer was to get all this.
So the offer was, I think, so he had some extra cases, Attorney Snyder. So it was FTD, failed to display a valid operator's license, and an open alcohol passenger that was being offered in exchange. He did have a couple of tickets in default, another open intoxicant driver, Attorney Snyder, and it was forged or false police information to a police officer. He may have just given him like a ID that expired. But if you plead to those two cases, the remainder of your cases will be dismissed.
No, I was talking about the agreement between me and you was to get this sorted out today. That's,
right. So so the options are, so these are your options. You can ask for a pretrial. That gives you some time to get documents together and to get everything back in order and then present it to the court. You can ask for a bench trial. That's a trial before myself as the trier and finder of facts. Every single one of these officers who have made these allegations will have to appear on that date and come into court. Or you can ask for a jury trial. That's when the officers is in person. 6 citizens of the city of Detroit will make the decision based on the law. Officers still have to come in. You will have to come in at that point in time, and then we can resolve it that way. Those are the three, or you can plead guilty or plead responsible at this point in time. To the offer that has been extended to you. Those are the 4 things that we can do to resolve it today. And I guess the 5th one is if you don't want to do any of those, then it just remains as is and it just remains there. And then eventually it goes into warrant status.
Yeah.
Right, so I said,
rights, and I don't understand what's going on. So.
Okay. I don't know if they'll be able to help you. I really wish you would let us assign some counsel to you. They may be able to talk to you and help you understand a little bit better.
I tried, but he not listening, so I was just taking them on hands.
All right. Sometimes you have to be willing to understand that they're going to give you the law, not necessarily what you're following, but the law that we practice in the state of Michigan.
I have no contract. If I have no contract with the Secretary of State, then like, why am I going to for this? I'm going through the proper procedure to have my rights protected under the Constitution and Supreme Court. So,
of Michigan?
Of Michigan, what?
No, I'm saying the Supreme Court of what jurisdiction? Michigan or the United States of America?
United States of America.
Wrong answer, buddy. The Constitution literally gives states the power to handle civil matters like traffic violations and citations under the 10th Amendment. That's right. States have full authority to pass and enforce laws, no matter how much sovereign citizen nonsense you try to throw at them. And let's not forget the full faith and credit clause, which straight up says that states have to honor each other's public records, like, traffic tickets. I guarantee this dude has no clue about any of this. But hey, they definitely don't teach real law in YouTube law school. That's for sure. Do you think this guy actually believes he found some magical loophole? Or is he just delusional enough to fall for his own nonsense?
All right, they wouldn't have jurisdiction over local matters though. And that's gonna be the problem. You're gonna run into every time, Mr. Williams, that local matters are held. The Constitution extends the right for us to locally handle certain matters, such as ordinance violations, misdemeanors, driving offenses.
Right, so if I'm not a U.S. citizen, I'm a U.S. national. What jurisdiction does that fall under? I'm not a resident or a U.S. citizen.
Oh, you don't live in the United States of America?
I live in the United States of America, but not under the jurisdiction.
So that's your resident. Are you born, like, do you have you said you have a passport, is the United States of America passport?
United States of America, but not the United States, the federal territory.
Oh, you didn't get so you don't have like a federal passport given to you. Mr. it's not a passport issued by the United States of America.
It is. Now my status is corrected.
That's going to wrap up his nonsense for now. This dude actually decided to take the case to pre-trial, so we'll definitely be seeing him again. Apparently, he thinks he's some kind of legal genius, but honestly, you've got to be seriously delusional to push these arguments with a straight face. The judge was pretty lenient with him too, and honestly, I think she could have shut him down way earlier. She gave him way too much room to keep talking, especially with all the sovereign citizen nonsense. A stricter judge probably would have cut him off the second he started rambling about how traffic laws don't apply to him, because, spoiler alert, they do. I get that letting him embarrass himself might have been part of her strategy, but all that waiting around just gave him a bigger stage to waste everyone's time. It might be entertaining for us, but for the court? Total waste. But what do you guys think? Was the judge too weak, or was she just playing it smart? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I post every single day, so stay tuned for more crazy court hearings like this one. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.